All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, a massive Eid Mubarak to each and every one of you guys, wherever you're celebrating. I'm celebrating Eid in Bangladesh today. I know a lot of you guys have been celebrating Eid across the world. A lot of you guys have already celebrated yesterday, but there's a lot that are celebrating today. So massive Eid Mubarak to each and every one of you guys, and to your families as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Stay safe, eat well, and hope you guys are enjoying. I'm definitely enjoying. Everyone just took a nap in the afternoon after massive feast in the morning, and we're all up now. We're all fresh. We're ready to go out. But I thought I'll take this opportunity to connect with each and every one of you guys, and talk about today's latest. It seems to be about a mass. I was going to say max. It is a max sort of exodus, isn't it? But mass exodus. Is it even possible? We're hearing players like Lukaku, Timo Werner, we are even keen with Hakim Ziyech. Azpilicueta perhaps already got a contract signed with Barcelona. Marcos Alonso, we already know Rudiger is leaving. Christensen is leaving. Christian Pulisic, as we spoke about yesterday, and his dad, not really happy. We're going to talk about what's going on. Why are so many players looking to leave? That's one thing we want to talk about. A lot of attackers wanting to leave as well. But at the same time, we want to talk about, obviously Romelu Lukaku, the headline story at the moment, where he seems to be, having a nightmare. Apparently, a lot of the big publications out there talking about that he sees his situation at Chelsea as untenable at the moment. He can't fix it. He needs to leave. And we're going to talk about all of this. And I think at the end of the day, we want to wrap things up by saying whether this is actually even possible. How is it possible that we can let go of all of these players and expect to replace every single one of them in the summer transfer window, with the ownership situation not even rectified as yet? I know it's most likely going to be Todd Boehly, although Jim Ratcliffe, I don't know what's going on with Jim Ratcliffe. Still in a bit of madness at the moment. But Robin is saying, Miss, did you change your home, or what is it changes you did with lighting? I didn't change my home. If you didn't know, I'm overseas at the moment, my man. I'm in Bangladesh for 4 weeks on holiday. I got my in-laws here, so I'm spending time with my in-laws. For the next 4 weeks, this will be the background. There might be the odd day here and there. I might be somewhere else, but I haven't changed anything. I'm just on holiday, and but I'm still delivering content because I got plenty of time to speak to each and one of you guys. But we're going to talk about all of this. But before we do all of that, ladies and gentlemen, like always, I want to take the time and really appreciate you guys and give you guys a shout out. Nearly 30 of you guys are live right now. Please smash the like button. Number one, Corey saying looking fresh. Thank you so much, my man. I've got a fresh trim, as you can see. A fancy haircut. Got my beard all trimmed and nicely done. Obviously, it's Eid, so you got to look the part. But ladies and gentlemen, as soon as you come in, smash the like button. As I always say, the aim of the game is to get 100 likes for the stream. Yesterday's stream, I think we ended up getting 200. So if we can manage to get to 100 whilst we are live, that will be much appreciated, as we're going to have a riveting conversation like always. But like we always do, as I said, shout out to each and every one of you guys. First of all, Valan, good to see you, my man. Hi, Miz. Always great to see you, Valan. Shemak, good to see. Eid Mubarak, my brother. Eid Mubarak to you as well and your family. Valan, Eid Mubarak as well. Sai Krishna, Eid Mubarak to you as well. Corey Rotia, looking fresh. Thank you so much, my man. Shadow Rider 0550. First time I actually catch your stream at the start. Usually I watch them once finished. I'm really, really happy you're here. We're going to have some fantastic conversation. I hope you can take part in some of those comments as well. We've got Subi William. Thanks so much for joining. The UK government needs to hurry up. I mean, look, I've got issues with the UK government as well. They want to control where the funds go. There's recent conversations about where they want to send a lot of the money towards the war victims in Ukraine, which is fine. I've got nothing against it, but why are we the only football club? Are other football clubs giving their money to Ukraine? Are we the only one that's doing this? What's going on in regards to that? And also, I suppose, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. It's a bit rowdy at my place. There's a lot of people, so I had to just tell them, calm down. No need to scream. Everyone can hear each other. But yeah, the UK government, as I was saying, look, why are we the only club that's donating? Are other clubs donating? Why is our proceeds of sale going to Ukraine? I just would like to know: is Man United doing that? Are Arsenal doing that? Are other clubs doing that? Basically, why is our proceeds predominantly going there? And I think some of it are going to some other parts of the charity as well. So, look, as I said, I've got no issues that it's going there. I've just got issues that why is it just our club? But yeah, that's something to talk about as well. ENTC, thank you so much for joining. Eid Mubarak, Miz. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much, my man. Talha Ahmed, Talha Hamid. Sorry, my man. I'm worried that Tuchel is not as good as we think. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Look, I know a lot of you guys probably watched the Big Six, and there was a riveting conversation in Big Six. If you guys have missed the latest episode, do go catch the Big Six latest episode where there's a lot of great footballing minds out there. I know there's a lot of banter, but there's a lot of great footballing minds out there. And there was a riveting conversation about Thomas Tuchel, and I would like you guys to have an open mind. And I feel like some of those conversations against Thomas Tuchel were valid as well. Look, I'm a man who obviously wants to see what Thomas Tuchel does next season with the caliber of players that he's going to get. And I guess that's the issue with this whole stream that we're going to do today, mass exodus. I mean, is it even possible? Is it actually even possible? And on top of that, are we actually even going to get the replacement? And I feel like at the end of the day, Thomas Tuchel may have to continue with some of these players next season as well. And he's going to have to find ways. FZ City, Eid Mubarak, Miz. Good luck with new ownership. You guys have a long way to fix your club. 100% agreed. Mohit, good to see you. Tuchel's dashing Blues lose to Super Frank's mighty Toffees. We have some Chelsea fans celebrating this. You know what? I actually said this on Matisse's channel a couple of weeks ago when we lost against Arsenal. And I said that, look, there are certain fans within our fan base that are actually wanting us to lose against Everton because they want to see Frank Lampard do well. We're a strange lot. We've become a strange lot. We're not interested to win anymore. We're there for sentiments. It's mad. Krishna, good to see you. I'm not completely against this. I think it's just the money that would go to Roman goes to Ukraine. At least that's my understanding. That the money that would go to Roman goes to the money that would go to Roman already knows the money ain't coming to him. But my issue is we could have used that money for our own purpose as well. We've got stadium redevelopment. We've got this, that. We could have used that for transfer budget as well. As I said, I've got no issues in providing the funds to Ukraine, but I just want to know, are other clubs doing it or not? Pradeep, Eid Mubarak, bro. Thank you so much. Surfs, do you think we'll regress next season given that fact that needed turnover of the squad? Look, I'm just skeptical that we're going to be able to get all of these replacements. Looks like a lot of players want to leave the football club. Like, I'm just a bit skeptical how we're actually going to replace a lot of these. Hope the new owners get DOF. 100% agreed. Velan, thank you so much for the super chat. It seems that Koundé and Torres are the target. Yeah, look, we need CBs, so I'm not surprised we're connected. I mean, Koundé, we've been connected for a while, so I'm not surprised if we actually end up getting him. And Pau Torres, look, we'll see what happens. There are other centre backs in demand. Wesley Fofana we've been linked with, and a few others. That brother from Leipzig, Vardiol. So there's quite a few. Himanshu, Eid Mubarak, thank you so much. Hafiz, thank you so much for joining, my man. Bread, Garlic House, thank you so much. Okay, let's get on with the show. We've done our shout outs, and we'll obviously continue doing so whilst everyone's coming in and providing their comments. 60 of you guys are live right now. I would love you guys to smash the like button. Get those likes up to 60 immediately. We're going to try and aim for 100 likes for the stream. Please get those likes up. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. It's very, very important. The likes are closely correlated to the growth of the channel. And the channel has been growing well thanks to each and every one of you guys. Okay, let's talk about Mr. One, Romelu Lukaku. Okay, we're going to start with Romelu Lukaku, and then we're going to talk about Azpi. We're going to talk about Marcos Alonso. We're going to talk about Timo Werner as well. That is up for grabs. Guys, how do you feel about Romelu Lukaku? I need, before you get on and start typing away your feelings and your thoughts, just for a second, take a moment and understand the whole situation. I mean, do you think, is it entirely Romelu's fault? Do you think partly the team's fault? Do you think partly Tuchel's fault, not being able to utilize him properly? I mean, assess the whole scenario and then let me know how you feel about it. Now, I want to provide you how I feel about it, and then you guys let me know how you think, what you think about my opinion. This is the latest that's going on. Chelsea asks for 63 million to sell Romelu Lukaku this summer. Bayern Munich finds this too expensive. Look, any club would find that kind of money very expensive, considering this player is, the stocks are so low, it's not even funny. We've bought him for nearly 100 million pounds. There's no way we could recoup all of that. And I said we would have to take a mega loss in order to get rid of him. Not just the salary, but the transfer that we're messing up with. There's no way we can sell him for 63. It'll probably be even 50% of that price, 50 million, maybe even less. Like, I know he's not worth that. He's probably worth more, but no one's going to pick up a player that has his stock so low at the moment. So that's one thing. Now, let's talk about whose fault is it. Look, personally, for me, Romelu Lukaku, I still consider him as a good footballer. I cannot sit here and tell you, and I've said this in my previous videos as well, I can't sit here and actually tell you that this guy is not a good footballer. This guy has done his job in the Premier League with West Brom. He's done his job in the Premier League with Everton. We know what type of goals he's scored and how he has played. Even though he wasn't great at Man United, he still banged in goals. Then he goes to Serie A and Inter Milan. He absolutely blitzed it. He blitzed it under Antonio Conte. Was a massive factor in winning the Scudetto last season. I think joint goal scorer with Ronaldo. So for me, this guy's not a bad footballer. There's a certain way to use him. There's a certain way to utilize his strengths. There's no doubt about that. And I feel like we have not done that. We have not really understood how to utilize him. And that is a fault on us. We probably shouldn't have even bought him, to be honest. Whoever the scouts were, whoever the people that sanctioned this particular transfer, and that includes Tuchel as well. Ultimately, they would have ran everything past Thomas Tuchel, and he would have said, "Yep, get me this particular player." They should have assessed what is his strengths, what is his weakness, can he adapt, can he do how we want to play, our philosophy, and basically relay that message to Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku will then relay the message back. I don't know whether all these conversations have happened. Now, from that perspective, I feel that's our fault, that only that situation. Now, in regards to the entire situation, I put a lot of fault on Romelu Lukaku. And I'll tell you why. He was doing fairly well. He started off with a bang in his debut sort of match against Arsenal, and then from there on, he was doing fairly well. And then obviously he went through a bit of a lull period and then got injured. Things didn't look right. Then he did that infamous interview. And I think that interview screwed him up massively. Us as fans, probably got over it within a couple of weeks. We all of us said that, look, we could care less about the interview anymore. We were very mad. Every single one of us was very mad for the first probably week or so. But after a couple of weeks, we're like, do you know what, Romelu? You do your business in the field and we'll be happy. Go out there, banging goals. That's all we want. But he didn't do that. And the effort wasn't there either. Then I think he got injured again, or he tested positive. And then there was a run of games where he actually started. Thomas Tuchel actually backed him. And what I liked about Thomas Tuchel throughout this whole process, not once did he ever... Okay, there were a few times where he vented some frustrations about Romelu and not performing well, but he didn't publicly throw him under the bus on a regular basis. He actually put his faith. He was, starting him on a regular basis. Obviously not up until recently. Probably, I'd say starting from Club World Cup. He actually started. After Club World Cup, he barely started. Especially when we have the sanctions and the new ownership situation, he barely started. But there was a lot of games where he was starting. There was a lot of games where Thomas Tuchel did put the faith in him. There was a lot of games where Thomas Tuchel post-match, pre-match actually said Romelu Lukaku is the solution and not the problem. Now, having said that, Romelu Lukaku throughout that period, and this is my biggest issue, I felt he never put the effort. I felt he never wanted to win back the fans. I felt he never really showed his desire that he wants to do well at Chelsea Football Club. It's like he was moving through some flow. It's like he couldn't care less. It's like he just wanted to leave. And that, for me, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest issue with Romelu Lukaku. It's not even the football. It's his mentality. It's like he's so egotistic that whole interview situation, it's almost as if he feels like, oh, the fan base overreacted. It's almost as if he feels we should be saying sorry to him. And it's absolutely dismantled him mentally. And since then, he's really not been able to switch on. And that, for me, has been the biggest disappointment with Romelu Lukaku. Now, we're in a situation where, how do we rectify this? As I said, I still don't think he's a bad footballer. How do we rectify this? Does Thomas Tuchel need to sit down with him? Does the board need to sit down with him? Does his team need to? But at the end of the day, why? Why does everyone need to do all of this for you, my man? Why does everyone need to do this for you, Romelu? Are you not adult enough to understand? Do you want to fight for Chelsea Football Club or you don't? And right now, it feels like you don't want to fight for Chelsea Football Club. So for me, there is no other way. You sell. So look, if I was to give percentage, I'd probably have to give 80% blame for Romelu and his mental sort of sense and his attitude and his lack of effort. But there is 20% fault from us. There is 20% fault from us. I feel we have not utilized him the way he should be utilized. There's a fantastic thread online from CFC Central who talks about this. And honestly, it's not a joke. We can't sit here, and I can see Himanshu saying, nah, Miz, he's just shit. He's not, man. He's not, Himanshu. I'm not going to sit here and say Romelu Lukaku is a rubbish footballer. I cannot do that. This guy absolutely lit up Serie A. Now, you're going to say, well, Tammy Abraham's doing that. No, he's not. Tammy's doing really well, and I'm very, very happy for him. But Tammy ain't driving Roma to win a Serie A. Romelu Lukaku absolutely demolished that league and helped Inter Milan win the Serie A, which was monopolized by Juventus. Now, do I think Serie A is a big-time league? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't think Serie A is a huge, huge league, but I don't think they've got ponies there either. They've got decent players there, man. This isn't a rubbish league. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can't sit here and say, nah, this guy is not even a footballer. He's like a hockey player or something, or he's a wrestler. No, it's crazy. But I will say it is his fault that he is declining at Chelsea. Predominantly, it is his fault. But I want to hear from each and every one of you guys now. I want to check out some comments. Let me know how you feel about Romelu Lukaku, guys. Do you honestly think this guy now needs to go? Do you think it's completely his fault? Do you think we are partly to be at fault as well? Do you think Romelu Lukaku is a rubbish footballer? Do you think he's actually a decent player, as history suggests? I want to hear from you guys. in a I suppose calm, sensible manner. Do you know what I mean? Not none of these banters or anything. I mean, look, if you want to throw some banters, fine. But I want you to actually deeply think about this. But let me pick up some of your comments. Ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. Over 100 of you guys are live right now, which is great to see. To each and every one of you guys, Eid Mubarak. Get those likes up. Let's have a look. We've got 37 likes. We've got over 100 people. As I always say, would love to get 100 likes for the stream. We'll talk about quite a lot of people, quite a lot of players today, ladies and gentlemen, because there seems to be a mass exodus. But is it even possible? Okay, Emmanuel. Let's pick up Emmanuel's comment. Lukaku is counter-attack player and can succeed in a slower league. Yes, perhaps. And this is what I was saying. Whoever scouted him and whoever recommended him and whoever sanctioned this whole transfer, and that includes Thomas Tuchel, because ultimately this whole scenario would have gone through Thomas Tuchel, and he said yes. So for me, why wasn't anyone scouting properly? Why wasn't anyone checking this out? Like that he doesn't fit Thomas Tuchel's philosophy. Lukaku's not a Premier League striker. He's good, but not world class. I wouldn't say he's not a Premier League striker, because he has been, though. Like, he's played for West Brom, he's played for Everton. Even though he's been bad for Man United, he has actually done. He's scored a lot of goals. Romelu has done well in system which suits him well. Tuchel's fault, shouldn't have sanctioned move. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and say it's completely Thomas Tuchel's fault, but yes, it is partly as well. Thomas Tuchel should have known the way he wants to play football. And we saw the way he was playing football last season, which is front three, fluid front three. He wants his centre forwards to drop deep at times, press, link up, hold up the lot. Do you know what I mean? Stay very mobile. Sometimes he wants his centre forward not to be static in the middle, wants him to be drifting on the left, to the right, wherever. And that's simply not Romelu Lukaku. Now, if that's how Thomas Tuchel saw Lukaku perhaps play, well, he should have studied him. He's not that type of a player. Lukaku not fitting in Chelsea is 50-50 blame game. We should have done our homework well on him. He's also part to be blamed. 100%. I don't even think it's 50-50. I think predominantly is Romelu Lukaku's fault. But we cannot shy away from the fact that there's a lot of fault from us as well. We should watch Lukaku on World Cup and pre-season before we decide to sell him. I mean, that's an interesting point. That's a very interesting point. So, I mean, Princeton, and I need the live chat to chime in on this. Would you actually? We've signed him for 5 seasons, 5-year contract on 325k. There's not many suitors out there that are going to take him for, Bayern Munich ain't taking him for 63 million. Like, we're going to make a major loss. So, do we actually reset? Do we actually reset and go, do you know what? I want to see you in preseason. I want to see if you can operate the way I want you to operate. And I will see what you do in the World Cup. And then we'll go from there. I mean, would you be happy with that, ladies and gentlemen? Miz, didn't they say it was Roman's own kid who wanted Lukaku? Look, there's a lot of rumors, FZ City. There's a lot of rumors. Some are saying, Roman's kid. Some are saying it was XYZ. Some even said Tuchel. Some saying it's not Tuchel. Look, at the end of the day, someone signed this off. And it wasn't just based on one person's approval. It would have been based on several people's approval. I think ultimately Haaland was the first choice, but the price and the whole, the late Mino Raiola, condolences to his family as well, was one of the obstacles, I suppose, for Chelsea Football Club. Golo, Miz, Romelu Lukaku likes the ball to stick to him, run with pace and score. Also, are you worried about your third position? You're absolutely right with the first statement. He likes the ball early. He likes the ball to be played behind him. He likes to run into it. And a lot of our players don't play that way. And a lot of the teams that we play against don't allow us to play that way. So, yeah, have we done our homework? Also, are you worried about your third position? 100% I am. 100% I am worried. I don't even know whether we're going to be able to beat Wolves. So, yeah, don't even ask me about this, man. Our team is playing rubbish at the moment. Joel, we should keep him and work the tactics in favor with him. He will light it up next season. Look, some part of me, Joel, says maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do that. And look, because for me, it seems like, how do we get rid of all these players? Because we're going to start touching on other players very, very soon. How do we get rid of all of these players? Like, especially Romelu Lukaku, who's only in 1 year into his deal. We've got 4 years left. We're going to take a mega loss to get rid of him. And I know new owners are coming in. Yeah, a clean slate. It's not going to be their loss. I get that. But it ain't going to be easy to go out there for the new owners and just find a new striker. Considering the scouts that we have, I don't even trust the scouts we have, honestly. We're going to take a couple of more comments for Romelu Lukaku, then we'll move on to the next player. I love Lukaku and all, but I think he isn't suited to our style of play, which is absolutely no fault of his. But the truth be told me is we have a lot of garbage, second-rated players to get rid of. 100%, man. 100%. 100%. I personally don't think we've played to Lukaku's strength. Look at all of our midfielders that play with him. They don't release the ball to him early. There's so many examples I can come up with. I think there was an example against West Ham where Mason Mount was inside the box and Lukaku was literally open and within, he wasn't offside or anything. Mason goes for a Hollywood shot and it just goes over the bar, where honestly, he could have slid that ball through for Lukaku and Lukaku could have hit it with his left foot. Now, whether Lukaku scores or not, that's a different story. But the idea is to get it to Lukaku. We just don't do that. And if we don't do that, we should have done our homework. We really should have done our homework. Corey, I would love to see him and Darwin Núñez up front as a 2. Look, as much as I know there's a lot of hype about Darwin Núñez, we need to calm down a little bit. I think, I don't know whether this guy's going to be a hit in the Premier League. Not that long ago, there was a lot of fans from Benfica that were complaining about Darwin Núñez being wasteful with his opportunities. Sometimes his link-up isn't good. Sometimes his dribbling is much like Timo Werner's style. So is it a purple patch that Darwin Núñez is going through? We just need to be careful. Or is it proper development? We need to be careful. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the next particular player that is up for contention. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check out Simon Phillips. I think the latest player. We'll talk about Timo Werner very, very soon as well. But I think the next one to talk about is Cesar Azpilicueta. There's a lot that's going on. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next player that we want to talk about. Cesar Azpilicueta could still join Barcelona despite automatically triggering a 1-year extension in his contract. There are credible reports that Marcos Alonso is also eyeing a return to Spain and of serious Serie A interest in Jorginho. That's another one, Jorginho. Okay, let's talk about all 3 of these players now. Azpilicueta, Marcos Alonso, and Jorginho. We'll start with Azpilicueta. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said it yesterday as well, as much as I love Azpi, and as much as he is a club legend, there's no doubt about that. I mean, what a signature, what a signing Azpilicueta has been for us. But there is no way Cesar Azpilicueta can be a main player next season. Do you know what I mean? Like, by main player, what I mean is not, of course, not start. Like, there's no way he can start. There's no doubt about that. Whether it's right wing, RCB, whatever the case is, he definitely cannot start. But I don't even think he's an adequate backup. And I hate the word backup because our backup should be just as good as the starter. That's how you create competition. That's how you're going to compete in the Premier League. That's how you're going to do well in the domestic cups. That's how you're going to do well in the Champions League. We can't have Reece James and Ben Chilwell, and as soon as they get injured, we can't have Azpilicueta and Alonso because the drop-off is gargantuan. The drop-off of levels from those 2 players is incredible. You need to have players that are either same quality or above, or maybe just a tad below them. You cannot have Azpi and Alonso. So for me, I don't even think Azpi is an adequate second string, like second tier, RCB or a right wing back. Sometimes this season he's even played LCB because of injuries, I suppose. But for me, at best, maybe he can stay as a bench player, come off the bench every now and then. But he shouldn't see that much minutes next season. And because of that, maybe it is time for him to leave. Maybe it is time that he goes to Barcelona. We've triggered his clause that he's going to be here for one more season. And this is what I want to talk to you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I want to ask each and every one of you guys, right? Nearly 150 of you guys are live right now. Please smash the like button. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Thomas Tuchel would have realized that when Reece James is not around, you're not going to get the same impetus from Azpilicueta. We saw what Azpilicueta did in the last game against Everton. I mean, the man just had a brain snap. Richarlison came in, took the ball off him like taking candy from a little kid, and ended up scoring. Now, Thomas Tuchel, the way he plays, he should realize that Azpi cannot give him what he wants. Azpi can give him the average level. But when you come up against, oppositions that have fast players or quality oppositions, I'm not saying Everton's quality, but I'm talking about in the likes of Real Madrid and so on and so forth, Man City, Liverpool, Azpi is always going to struggle. So I want to ask you guys a couple of things. One, do you get rid of Azpilicueta? Do you think he should feature at all next season? And two, why hasn't Thomas Tuchel looked at some alternative? Why hasn't he used Chalobah more often in RCB role? Why hasn't he just kept on playing Reece James in the right wing back role? I know he had injuries. I know in recent post-match conferences, even pre-match conferences, he said that for Reece James, sometimes it's a bit demanding on his body to be right wing back. But why not adapt with someone else? Like, I know it's too much to ask for, but by playing Azpilicueta, you're not really helping yourself out either. Do you know what I mean? And this is why I say, if you don't have wing backs, then maybe just play with a back four. Do you know what I mean? Like, play Chalobah as a right back. Like, play Christensen as a right back. Like, I don't know. And if you're going to continue on, let's say, Azpi playing as RCB or Azpi playing as right wing back, it's only detrimental. And I want to hear from you guys now. I want to pick up some comments. I mean, is it just for the sake of having your captain on the field? But if your captain is not providing the kind of football that you need, is it worth having your captain? Is it not worth having someone else? I mean, does it really matter that much that the captain needs to stay in the field? Because we've heard Thomas Tuchel say, I need my captain to be reinstated when he took over last season. I need him to be in the field. I just find it mad that Chalobah hasn't seen enough games, and Azpi has, even in the last game. Reece James played as a wing back. Azpi played as an RCB. Like, I find it mad that it's not Chalobah. Like, how is Chalobah not starting? A lot of you guys might say, well, Chalobah is just as, mistake prone. I get that, but at least Chalobah is robust. At least, he's got that intensity. I just find it strange. Okay, let's have a look at some of your comments right now. The Undertaker is saying, The Undertaker, good to see you. Azpi has to go now. Mo, good to see you. Let me bring up Mo's comment. Because he's a club legend and Captain Tuchel wants that on field. See, is that due to sentiment? Is it because it's a sentimental thing? Or is it because, if he's not there, we're going to lose the dressing room? Why should it be like that? This is where I feel Thomas Tuchel needs to do man management and has to sit down with Azpilicueta and say, look, mate, like, you're past it. We need to start giving Chalobah those minutes now. And he was in the beginning. I just found it strange that it became Azpilicueta. But yeah, Pre saying, good riddance to whoever wants to be. This is a blessing in disguise. Time for Tuchel to get his own players. Absolutely correct. MG saying, nice haircut, Miz. Is it a mohawk? Not so much, but a little bit, I suppose. I suppose you can say slightly mohawk, yeah. Not completely a mohawk, but yeah. Clicks. Tuchel doesn't play Chalobah because of his silly mistakes he's making and probably believes Chalobah isn't ready. Well, Clicks, Is Azpi any better? Azpi made a silly mistake as well recently against Everton. I know Chalobah has made a lot more, but Azpi's slower than Chalobah. Azpi's not as robust as Chalobah. Chalobah is a lot more physical. His physicality is a lot more than Azpi. Azpi gets outrun with pace. Azpi's stamina deteriorates as the game goes on. After the 60th minute, Azpi's dead. I mean, is that worth it? Is that worth it? Aka, the depth we have just isn't good enough. Weber tried everything. It's clear we need new and better players. I mean, of course we do. Of course we do. But are we actually going to get new players? Are we actually going to get all these new players? Like, I'm pretty certain we're going to get some new players. No doubt about that. I think we're going to get CBs. I think we may get a fullback, but we're not going to get 6 or 7, 8 players. We're definitely not going to get all of these players. Clicks is saying, Azpi is certainly a club legend for us, but lately his legs are starting to go like Ivanovic's. I hope Azpi leaves this summer and best of luck to him. But it's time to move forward. 100% agreed, man. 100% agreed. Miz, you have to think about the politics in such big clubs. Imagine not playing your club captain over a youngster. He could lose the dressing room. See, now, this is what I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I want to talk about. Isn't it the manager's job to understand and to communicate that information to the player, Azpi, and to the team as well, that, guys, this is my vision. This is why I'm doing this. I need a lot more robust. I need a lot more pace. I need a lot more energy. I need a player that can last 90 minutes and give it all. By playing Azpi, isn't Thomas Tuchel hurting himself anyway? I hear what you're saying, my man. I hear that you're saying by not playing Azpi, you will lose the dressing room. I get that. But by playing Azpi, and I'm not putting all the blame on Azpi, but by playing Azpi, you're detrimenting yourself. It is becoming one of the causes of why you're not playing good football. One of them. I'm not saying the issue. Wingbacks or fullbacks are one of our huge issues, the way we play. So isn't it detrimental to have a player that's not really going to help you out, but you're risking it because you're going to lose the dressing room? But you're losing now. You're going to lose the dressing room anyway. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like you're going to get hurt anyway. D. Sanders, thank you so much for the super chat. We need David Rome to back up Chilwell. Look, there's a lot of people that are talking about David Rome. So, look, as long as our scouts are doing the job, that's all I can say. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Marcos Alonso now. Marcos Alonso, a lot of people are saying, there we go. Jonathan's saying Cucurella needed. Guys, it was funny to see recently in social media, in Twitter specifically, people actually having a debate and argument to keep Marcos Alonso. Recently, I'm not going to lie, Marcos Alonso has been doing fairly okay. But what is fairly okay? Are we saying fairly okay because we've seen how poor Marcos Alonso is, and that when he has a semi-decent performance, we think, you know what, that's fairly okay? But when you compare Marcos Alonso with the likes of Cancelo in Man City, with the likes of Robertson in Liverpool, or with the likes of any other sort of top-range left-backs, even Brighton with Cucurella, David Rome as well. There's plenty more players like, for example, Frankfurt, Kostic. I've recently watched Kostic for Frankfurt, and that guy is, God damn it, so good. I mean, are we saying okay to Marcos Alonso because we feel he's doing better than his worst performances lately? At the end of the day, for me, Marcos Alonso needs to go. I thank him for his services. I thank him for his goals, his assists. But the brother is slow. The brother is clumsy. The brother slows down our build-up. His control is fairly good. Yes, ball control is good, but it's slow. What's the point? In this day and age, in 2023, where you got teams like City and Liverpool absolutely ball out, you can't have a player like Alonso and hope that you're going to bridge the gap to those big dogs having players like Alonso and Azpi. You simply cannot have that. You simply cannot have that. Cucurella is definitely one of my choice. Let's have a look at what Robin George is saying. Alonso being so mediocre and staying at Chelsea for this long is the Italian-Spanish job crime. It actually is crime. Alonso should have left at least 2 seasons ago. Eka Alonso should be first to leave, 100%. I've got no issues if this guy leaves in the summer to Barcelona. There's some rumors over there. Emmanuel is saying, can Alonso get into City or Liverpool team? There is no way he gets onto Liverpool or City team, not even on their bench. There is a standard. This player will never make us compete for the league. 100%, man. His time's done. Like, what Antonio Conte did was mad. Really is mad. This is one player. Martsen should be the next. Martsen, to give Chilwell the challenge, I think should be the next thing. Like, if we as a football club are smart, we would try and give Martsen an opportunity. Martsen's actually done well on loan to Coventry. And look, I'm all up for buying good players from abroad, but I don't trust our scouts. Our scouts are not even looking at someone like David Rom. Our scouts are not even looking at someone like Mark Cucurella. I know there were some rumors a long time ago, but I highly doubt. So I'd rather go with what we already have and what we already know, which is Ian Martsen. And for me, I wouldn't mind giving him sort of, challenging Ben Chilwell. So for me, that's very important. But let me know, guys. I mean, Marcos Alonso, Azpilicueta out. Is that how you guys feel? Anyone here that thinks they need to stay? I would love to hear. Let me pick up some more comments before we move on to the next player. Hey, man, Azpi is not that good, but he has won most of the trophies we are proud of. Give him some respect. He's the captain as well. We need better players, but we should appreciate his efforts. 100%. Look, I'm not going to sit here and diss him. I appreciate everything he's done for us. But for me, his time is up. It's over. Azpi, Alonso. Alonso's time was up a long time ago. Azpi, I think it's now the right time. It's now the right time. But once again, I reiterate, you get rid of Azpi, you get rid of Martsen, you get rid of Lukaku. That's already 3 players on top of the 2 CBs. That's 5 we've already racked up. Do you really think this summer we're going to get 5? Do you really think we're going to get 5? Adrian saying, Dujon Sterling can replace Azpi. I don't know, man. Look, Martsen, yes, because I've seen how really good Martsen is. He really is good. Dujon Sterling plays for Blackpool, and I honestly have not seen any clips. I've not seen anyone talk about him on social media. There's been absolutely nothing about him. I know he's done okay-ish, but I don't know whether he's ready to just come in and replace Azpi. I personally think we need to go into the market for that role. I would give Chalobah, if we continue with the back 3, I'd give Chalobah the RCB role and Reece James to continue on as a right wing back. And then we go into the market to find someone who can really compete against Reece James. I don't really think Dujon Sterling can compete against Reece James for the right wing back role. Adrian, Dujon Sterling is defensive fullback. Look, we don't need defensive fullback, man. We need flying fullbacks. We need fullbacks to contribute. That's my perspective. But I can appreciate other perspectives as well. Lukaku's not an elite player. He wants every coach to create a system that will suit his style of play, which is not possible. Look, obviously we're talking about other players, but in regards to Lukaku, once again, there's nothing wrong to set up a system to suit one player if that player is elite and will win you the league, which he has in Serie A. So I know the Premier League is a different kettle of fish, but I'm just saying that there's nothing wrong to design a structure for a player that could be explosive for you. That's all I'm going to say. I wouldn't sell a single attacker and focus on defense midfield. We need minimum 4 players. And if the owners want to please us fans, they'll make statement signings. We are getting desperate. 100% correct. There's a couple of more comments before we talk about the next player. Why don't we go for Mahel, who can play well on both sides? Look, once again, I don't mind Mahel. He's a very good player. But once again, I will reiterate. Do you think our scouts are looking at these type of players? Do you think our scouts are actually looking at Mahel? Honestly, sometimes I don't even know what our scouts are doing. Football style, good to see you, my man. Miz, there is a guy, RCB and RB. He's too good. His name is Costello Luqueba. Where's he from, man? Where's he? I've never heard of him. I've never heard of him. Let me know where he's from. Okay, we're going to now talk about Jorginho. That's the other one. Jorginho apparently, look, for me, as I said, I think Jorginho is in the same boat. Jorginho's got one more season left at the end of this season. We're in a bit of a situation where do we give him a new contract and extend his term? Or do we just let him see out his contract and then let him go for free? Or we sell him now and we cash in a little bit of money. I personally don't think we give him a new contract. I can't see how we give him a new contract. We have to evolve away from Jorginho. Jorginho is a good player. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people misunderstand Jorginho. Jorginho is not one of those players similar to like the Lukaku situation. If you have a system conducive to Jorginho, Jorginho will do good. But I feel like there are other players that can do Jorginho's role, but at the same time be far more mobile and be far more physical. For example, Julian Weigl. For example, Ruben Neves. For example, Basuma. For example, Boubacar Kamara. A lot of people will say Declan Rice. I don't think Declan Rice has that, ability to control as a deep-lying midfielder and really control the tempo. I know a lot of you guys will disagree. It is what it is. But there are a lot of legit ballers out there that can do what Jorginho does with a far more mobility. So for me, I would let go of Jorginho. I would sell him now, cash in on him and get some money, because I wouldn't let him go for free. He's only going to have one more season left after this season. I cannot allow any of our players to go for free anymore. So I wouldn't let him go for free, and I wouldn't give him a new contract either. So that's my stance on Jorginho. Let me have a look how you guys feel now about Jorginho. Okay, if we saw Georgie now, he gets replaced now. None of this waiting business. The midfield is our weak spot. Georgie and Kante need to be replaced. That's another name, Kante. 2 CBs. Don't forget, Silva has only one season left, and he is getting old. Maybe he'll probably give us another season. God knows what happens after the World Cup. Maybe he might just get over it. But 2 CBs minimum. 2 fullbacks minimum. Now seems like 2 midfields minimum. We haven't even touched on the strikers. Well, we have Romelu Lukaku. There is no way I think some of these mass exodus is even possible. There's no way it's possible. We are not going to get 7, 8 players. We simply won't do that. Stop with these world-class signings. Chelsea are in the process of rebuilding the new era without Abramovich. Sell him and get Tchouaméni. I would love Tchouaméni, man. I would love Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni is the perfect example of a player that can do everything that that Jorginho does, but with the physicality and the mobility, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, for me, Jorginho has to go. All right, let's have a look at the next bit of news. The latest news that's out at the moment, I think it's about Timo Werner. Let's have a look at that. Let's see if it's out right now. I think there's something about Romelu Lukaku as well. Let's check this out. Romelu Lukaku will reject any interest from AC Milan this summer, placing fresh uncertainty over his future. The Chelsea striker also has no interest in Newcastle, one of the few teams seen as being able to afford his salary and transfer fee. The player is growing increasingly frustrated by his lack of opportunities, with Tuchel's decision not to use him at Goodison Park, despite being in desperate search of a goal. Surprising sources close to Lukaku. Yeah, look. Obviously, we've already touched on Romelu Lukaku, guys. If you've just tuned in, go back beginning of the stream where we talked about Lukaku in details. As I said, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, not. I think predominantly it is his fault, but at the same time, I realize there's a lot of our faults as well. It is what it is. I'm going to talk about Timo Werner. There was something about Timo Werner. Where did I see the Timo Werner stuff? Let's have a look. What else do we have here? Here we go. Okay. So this is the latest on Timo Werner. Let me just have a look. Make sure I didn't. Okay. Talk about Cho. Yeah, that's another one. Talk about Cho as well. Look, he has to go. I can't see how he sticks around. I really cannot. He has to go. Either we sell him or we get rid of him on loan. He's another one. Just not good enough, man. Just not good enough for Chelsea Football Club. Really isn't. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, how many players need to go? Honestly, we can't expect all of these players to go. We really cannot. We really cannot. How are we going to get rid of entire of our squad and expect the new owners to come in and buy 8, 9, 10 players in the summer? It's just unheard of. It's unheard of. It really is. Okay, let's talk about Timo Werner. This is the latest, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly 180 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button, guys. We've got 84 likes. We're 16 likes away from 100 likes. As I keep saying, the target for the stream is, as always, 100 likes. And then from there on, it's fantastic, whatever we get. I think yesterday we ended up getting 200. So let's get to that 100 likes immediately, ladies and gentlemen. Timo Werner. Timo Werner is another one, ladies and gentlemen. If a team were to come in with a really good offer for Timo Werner, I think Chelsea would sell this summer. This is from PBS Sports writer. Look, not that long ago, everyone was saying that Timo Werner needs to go. And I think a lot of people are still saying that Timo Werner needs to go. And I've said it in recent times. And I've actually been starting Timo Werner in my previews, but I've said it in recent times that I'm going to wait till the end of the season. I'm not going to get caught up in this recency bias that he's been doing well, which he has. Over the last couple of games, he actually hasn't. Everton, he was poor, but then again, everyone was poor. And even before Everton, against Man United, I don't think he was that great. Against West Ham, I don't think he was that great. Yes, he was phenomenal against Real Madrid. He was really good against Southampton. He was really good against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. But Timo Werner is another one of those players. You know, I don't know if we utilize him the way he needs to be utilized. He's someone who wants to, get the ball early, run in behind as well, much like Lukaku, and use his pace. Timo Werner, if you look at the entire season, it's been rubbish. And a lot of you guys will say, well, he didn't get his chances. But then again, he's got massive deficiencies in his game, man. There's a reason why he doesn't get his start, because his quality, his touches sometimes let him down. His finishing is atrocious. Sometimes his decision-making in the final third is poor. So for me, Timo Werner, I'm happy to say he probably needs to go as well. But at the same time, I'm happy to also wait and look at him till the end of the season. But if he's unable to absolutely light it up over the next 4 Premier League games and the FA Cup final, I mean, why are we harboring him? Why are we harboring him? We heard what's happening with Christian Pulisic. Does Christian Pulisic get an opportunity? I mean, does Timo Werner start for you guys against Wolves, or does Christian Pulisic start? Do you know what I mean? So you guys let me know in the live chat. Guys, do you want to see Timo Werner next season, or do you feel like he needs to go as well? Do you feel he gives us what we need up front? 1v1 dribbling, good final third decision-making, clinical finishing, ability to carry the team. Do you see Timo Werner doing that? Or do you get rid of Timo Werner? And if you say you want to get rid of Timo Werner, there's another player that you basically have added on top of all the other players that we've talked about already, which is quite insane. Football Star, thank you so much for this very generous super chat, my man. Miz, I love your content for so long, and I'm from Saudi Arabia. And please look, this guy, Castello Luqueba, plays in Lyon from France. Look at his status and how he plays. We need to buy 10 players. We need to buy 10 players. Man, I wish we bought 10 players, but it's just, I can't expect how I can't expect how the new owners just come in and sell everyone. I really can't. And I can't expect them to buy 10 players. And 10 players with the scouts we have, the scouts that we have, them to buy 10 players? Oh my God. Our scouts are going to buy players that won't even fit Thomas Tuchel's ideology. It's never happening. It's never happening. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like I'm going to have to look into Castello Luqueba. Guys, let me know about Castello Luqueba. I'll definitely start looking into this a lot more. Leon is someone I don't get to watch too much. Football side, you're from Saudi Arabia, my man. Eid Mubarak. I hope you guys are doing well. Eid Mubarak to you and your family. Have a blessed Eid, 100%. We're getting maximum 4 players in the summer, in my opinion. And look, I would be happy with 4. If we get 4, I think that's fantastic. We need 2 CBs minimum. Minimum, we need 2 CBs. And then we need fullbacks. So there's a lot of players that we're going to have to keep. There's a lot of players. Midfielders, we're probably going to have to keep. Forwards, we're probably going to have to keep. Because I can't see how we are actually going to get rid of all of these. Unless Thomas Tuchel starts introducing youth players. And this is the final thing that I want to talk to you guys before we wrap things up. Do you think next season, with some of the players that are not working out for us, if we can't get rid of them, are you worried for Thomas Tuchel? Because there's a lot of talk that these are not Thomas Tuchel players. Thomas Tuchel can't seem to get the best out of them. Well, a lot of these players are probably going to stick around next season. I cannot expect the new owners to buy 10 players, as Football Stars said. I cannot expect them to buy 10 players. Maximum 4. If they get 4, that's fantastic. And that's probably going to be 2 CBs and probably fullback, maybe a midfielder, maybe 1 fullback, 1 midfielder. But predominantly, a lot of the players that are not doing well now is probably going to stick around next season. So Thomas Tuchel needs to get a tune out of them next season. This season, and this is what I mean. Some of our attackers, Thomas Tuchel needs to sit down and figure out a way, how can we get the best out of them? Because I cannot imagine, there's rumors about Hakim Ziyech probably leaving as well. Pulisic, not happy. Timo Werner, we're happy to sell him. Christian Pulisic, not happy. Romelu Lukaku, not happy. It's mad. We don't need 10 players. We need minimum 4. Ignore these comments, means. Okay, Aka, which 4 would you get? Like, tell me the positions. I want to hear from you. Positions. Which positions are you getting? Because if none of them are midfielders and attackers, well, then we're stuck with the same one as we have this season, next season. I would love to hear from you guys. Kim, good to see you. 21-22 season, GA per minute. Werner minutes played, 2,125 goals and assists equals 17. Ratio, Timo Werner is Chelsea's most efficient attacker. Look, I get it. Stats-wise, he is, but there's a lot of deficiencies in Timo Werner's game. Let's not do this. Let's not sit here and just only talk about stats. There's a lot of areas where Timo Werner needs to improve. Look, I've got no issues if Timo sticks around, but he needs to improve massively. And where does the improvement come from? Maybe not just the player, maybe the manager needs to help out as well. Werner is saying we have like more than 50 players in the whole scheme of things. Tuchel needs to really cut half of it. We need depth as well. We've played over 60-plus games this season. We cannot be moving into the new season where we don't have enough players. Okay, Aka, this is with the final comment, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button before you go. 2 CBs, 1 left wing back, 2 midfielders. That's 5 players. You said 4. 2 CBs, 1 left wing back, 2 midfielders. That's 5 players. I honestly don't think we're going to get 5 players in the summer. I really don't think the new owners are going to get 5 players. 4 is probably stretching. Look, I'd be happy if we get 5. I really would be happy if we get 5, but I don't think we're going to get that many. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps us up for this particular session. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Eid Mubarak to each and every one of you guys. Smash the like button before you go. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll see you guys again for another stream soon. Hopefully, I can do a watch along very soon as well. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.